Sorcerer Supreme to defend it.
The introduction of the multiverse in Loki has opened up a whole world of speculation about the next Doctor Strange movie, so I'm here to cover everything we already know, my theories, and at the very end, some major leaks about new characters coming to the MCU in this movie, so make sure to watch the whole video. First, we're going to go over what we 100% know is already confirmed about the Multiverse of Madness. So the movie releases on March 25th, 2022 after many delays, and it is being directed by Sam Raimi, and it's said to be the scariest MCU movie yet and have a direct horror vibe to it. And this makes perfect sense as Raimi is famously known for both Evil Dead, a horror franchise, and Spider-Man, a superhero franchise, so bringing a director that has experience in both these fields in the past to make it into one big movie is a great idea. We also know that Elizabeth Olsen will be continuing her story from WandaVision in this film, and we do know that she won't die or anything because Kevin Feige has said that her story will continue elsewhere in the MCU after this film. So we're not sure if that means she's going to get another limited series on Disney Plus, she's just going to continue to appear in other hero shows, or maybe she'll finally get her own movie. We're not sure yet, but we will see Elizabeth Olsen in the MCU after this movie. Wong is going to be appearing, and we also know that Mordo, which is the villain if you remember from the post-credits scene of Doctor Strange 1, is going to be in this movie as well. And Rachel McAdams will be returning as Dr. Christine Palmer, and there's some interesting things about how her character might turn into a sorceress, but more on that in the leak section later in the video. As for new characters, we will see America Chavez, which hopefully I did not butcher that name, in this movie. And in the comics, she becomes a part of the Young Avengers, but she'll likely just be a small role to introduce her to us, the audience, and then build on her later in other projects. It's also important to know that when Sam Raimi joined the project, the film was completely rewritten in 2020 by him and the lead writer, Michael Waldron. And if you don't know who Michael Waldron is, he also wrote Loki, and that actually brings us to our first theory. So the first theory is that Loki or Sylvie will appear in this show. So the ending of Loki obviously set up the multiverse in the MCU, and we know that Spider-Man No Way Home is very likely to deal with this, and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is 100% going to deal with the multiverse. I think it would make sense to see either Loki or Sylvie appear in this before Loki season 2, because we know that's going to be well over a year out, so they probably want to have these characters appear sometime in between. And plus, like I said, in the last thing that we know is 100% confirmed, the same writer worked on Loki and this, so he could very easily know how to tie these two things in since he formed both these stories. And honestly, I'm not 100% sure about Loki, but I think Sylvie has a very good chance because the last time we saw her, she was in the end of time after killing He Who Remains, aka King, and we don't know how she gets out of there or anything. So I feel like Strange could realize this is where everything happened to form the multiverse and what set it loose, and maybe he could come talk to Sylvie, see what happened and what she knows. Theory 2 seems like it's really going to happen in this movie, and this theory is that Wanda, her whole plot in this is going to be looking for her kids, and since the multiverse is now open, she sees a way to get her kids from a different universe, and that causes Doctor Strange to intervene with Wanda using her powers for this, taking people from a different universe into her timeline. And then Julian Hillard, who plays Billy Maximoff in WandaVision, responded to a tweet saying, "Was it fun to play Billy again in the Multiverse of Madness?" to a very emphatic yes, and then he tries to correct himself and say, "Oh, I thought that was for WandaVision," but that seems like a very obvious thing that he slipped up on. There's no way he read the words "play Billy again" in Multiverse of Madness and think that that means WandaVision. So he definitely slipped up here, and then the Marvel snipers had their lasers pointed at him and made him tweet that it was a mistake. But I mean, it's not too big of a deal because we all knew that these kids were going to return at some point, but now we pretty much have confirmation that it's going to happen in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Theory 3 is that this movie is going to feature Spider-Man as well, because if you did not know, Doctor Strange is confirmed to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. I feel like it would only make sense for Spider-Man to still kind of be hanging around, or the effects of that movie to carry on into this one, because the big theory is obviously that the multiverse is going to first be seen in Spider-Man No Way Home, not actually Doctor Strange 2. So it will probably be a Sinister Six type deal in that movie, and then there's going to be a post-credit scene. I feel like that will be Doctor Strange seeing something huge happen with Mordo or something else that he has to go take care of, and Spider-Man probably comes along to help. Now we're about to get into the massive leak that happened about Doctor Strange 2 and its brand new character, but if you're still watching at this point, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, because if you're still watching right now, I know you're enjoying this video. So the big leak that happened referring to Doctor Strange 2 is some concept art that shows the costume design for Doctor Strange 2, Hawkeye, and Miss Marvel. And for Doctor Strange, you can see Mordo has like a new outfit and stuff like that, but if you go up to the top right, you can see Clea. Now you're probably asking, who is Clea? And let me explain. So Clea is a sorceress appearing in the comics, and how she's described is that she is a disciple and lover of Doctor Strange, and this is what really makes me think it's going to be Rachel McAdams' character, Christine Palmer. Even though that would not line up with the comics, the MCU has been known to kind of blend some characters together to make it work for the storyline. And then we know that Christian Palmer was Doctor Strange's love interest in the first movie, so it would make a lot of sense. And when you have an actress like Rachel McAdams, you don't want to waste them, so I feel like they're definitely going to elevate her role to this character. And as for her ability, she can conjure objects and energies, teleport, has telekinesis, can control others' minds, and can cast illusions, so kind of a Doctor Strange Loki hybrid, it seems like. But I'm personally really excited to see how this character comes out on screen. I feel like it's going to be really cool and nice to see the character that kind of got pushed to the side in the first movie have a bigger role. And if you've seen the rest of this concept art, you can definitely see that the Scarlet Witch outfit is there for Wanda, and she's in there with Wong. You can see where America Chavez would be, and she's already confirmed. And sadly, it looks like Doctor Strange is keeping kind of the same costume. So let me know what you're most excited about in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.